Shall we begin?
Let's begin now.
Hi everybody, it's Doreen, and I'm back today with another masculine card. So today's cartridge we will be using is the Art Philosophy. Haven't used that one in a while. And we will be using a child's year. So what does our card look like for today? This is the card that we will be making, and it has a tag inside like so, and then the card also opens out. So come on and join me, and I'm going to show you how I made this card. Okay everybody, so we're going to go ahead and bring up the supplies and get started on our card. Now, I got this card idea out of this magazine that I got from Skylar. It's the Card Maker Presents, and it is their Spring 2012 edition. And this really helped me out because I really struggle with having to make masculine cards. I can whip up a anniversary female or little girl card with no problems, but when it comes to masculine cards, I really just have a mental block. And I think it's because I know I can't add any bling, and I can't add any pearls and all the other fancy things and flowers and so forth. So I knew I had to make this card for my husband's nephew, so I'm going through this magazine and I'm like, I gotta hurry up and find something to make. And I happened upon this card that's called Dad's Roadmap, and it looks like this, and it's basically a Father's Day card. So what I decided to do was turn it into a birthday card. So let's get our supplies together and we can get started. So now I've already prepped and started to make some of the card, but what I'm going to do is, rather than use my card itself, I'm going to just talk about what you'll need to do. And this is kind of like my prototype before I made this first before I took my good cardstock and actually made the card. So you're going to start off with an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and what you'll do is you're going to take that sheet of paper and you're going to fold it in half like so. And I've got one piece missing out of here, and you'll see why in a minute. And then once you fold it in half, you're going to then, once again, fold it in half again. So you'll end up with this. And then once you open it out, you will have, let's see, a sheet of cardstock like so. But you'll also have a piece here. Now what you're going to do is you're going to cut out the left corner piece. So you're just going to go ahead and cut across and then cut down. And then you'll end up with this. Then you will take and fold this layer right here up, and you're going to come down with a pencil to 4 1/4 on your left side of your right bottom, and this is your right bottom, so you can take it like so and just come down 4 1/4 inches, and then you're going to score. And then once you score, which is what I have right here, you're going to start fan folding this 4 times. So you're 1, 2, 3, and actually it's really 3 because this is your 4th one right here. So you have a score mark here, you have your score here, your score here, your score here, and your score here. So it's just a fan fold. And then you'll pick your card up and close it like so. And this is what you'll end up with. So I hope I've explained that everyone understands it. If not, you can PM me and I'll try and explain it a little better by actually cutting and folding again. But like I said before, you're going to take your 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You're going to fold it in half one way, and then you'll fold it in half again. And then once you do that, you'll open it out and you're going to cut your left corner piece out. So across and down, and you'll end up with this. Then you're going to take this piece, your right bottom, fold it forward, and make a score mark or a line for a score mark at 4 1/4 inches. So from your top down to 4 1/4, and then you'll just do a fan fold like so, and you'll end up with this. And then you'll fold your card. So now let's bring out my card so we can start putting our embellishments and things together. The other thing that I've gone ahead and done is I've taken and used some eyelets and put one on every other point. So I have one here, then I've placed one there, and then there, and then there, and then there. Now you don't have to put eyelets if you want. You can use brads as well. So now you'll notice my card is open like so. So what we need to do is we need to take, I've used some score tape. You can use your ATG gun if you want, or your Tombow. But I just decided to take a piece of score tape, and I'm just going to fold this back up. And you want to put your score tape only on this side and then up to here, because this is going to become your pocket to put your tag in. So now let's go ahead and talk about our tag. So I've cut the tag out, and my tag is from the Art Philosophy cartridge, and you don't have to use this cartridge. You can use any cartridge that has a tag on it, and I've showed in previous videos on how you search on your Gypsy for a particular item. So you would search and put in the word tag, and then it will bring up all the cartridges that have a tag, and then you can pick to make sure that you own that cartridge. The other thing, if you don't have the Gypsy, you can go to mycutsearch.com and type in tag, and it will bring up all the cartridges that have a tag on it. So I'm using the tag that is on page 53, and it looks like this. And what I've done is I've hidden the little tree that's in there. So let me bring that up on the Gypsy. And I've cut this out at 4 1/2 inches. So let's go to that cartridge. And it is key number 33. So you're going to hit your tag label button, your shift lock button, and key 33. And this is what you'll get. So then, if you're using your Gypsy, and you can do this in the Cricut craft room as well, and I believe you can do this on the Expression too, you're going to hit your Advanced tab and hit the Hide Contour button, and then you can hide the little tree. And if you want to also hide the little circle up here, you can do that as well, and it won't cut the circle out. But I'm going to use the circle. So now that I have that cut out, what I've also done is I've already gone ahead and pre-stamped my image on my tag. So what I've used to stamp is I've used the stamp set that I go to a lot. It's called the Pocket Silhouettes, and it's by Stampin' Up, and it looks like this. So I've used this stamp right here. And then the other thing that I've gone ahead and used is I've used the Cherish the Day by Close to My Heart, and it is S1111, and it has the months of the year in the stamp set. And I apologize for the glare right away because you're going to get it. And it goes January through December, and then it has the little numbers, and it has Cherish the Day. So that's what I've stamped out, because my husband's nephew's birthday is August 21st. And I just used some black tuxedo ink to stamp this out. And I've used, for the Cherish the Day, I've used the Tim Holtz Distress ink, the Age Mahogany. And if I didn't say before, I also inked my edges using the Age Mahogany on the card and the tag as well. So now, my cardstock happened to be double-sided. If your cardstock that you're going to use to make this card is not double-sided, then you will have to measure your piece in here to put in here, and you should put your piece underneath here first before you put in your eyelets. But since mine was double-sided, I didn't have to worry about that. So now what I want to do is I want to add my next embellishment on the front of my card before I place my tag inside my card. So what I've done is I've taken the stamp set and my Spellbinders die, and this is the Labels 8, and I've taken the following stamp set that looks like this. It's by Stampin' Scrappin', and I actually got this at Joann's, but it was Joann's online. And these stamps and greetings match the following labels. They match for the Spellbinders die. Labels 2, Labels 4, and Labels 8. So if you have any of those, and I use the Labels 8, they will match with this. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've using the stamp that looks like this and stamped that out on some cardstock, and then I've used the Gathered Twigs by Tim Holtz Distress Ink to stamp that, and then I stamped the Happy Birthday using the Aged Mahogany, and then I took the Labels 8 Spellbinder die and ran that through my Cuttlebug to get my little label. So I'm going to add that here on the front of the card. So I've already got this popped up on some foam tape. So I'm going to remove my tape backing from my foam tape, and then we're going to add this to the front of the card. So I'm just going to place that right there. So then the next thing I'm going to do is just add my tag inside here. But I am going to add some, probably some twine in here at the top of the tag. So now the next thing we're going to work on is the inside sentiment. So before we do that, I want to show you how I'm going to put together my inside sentiment. Okay, everybody, before we go ahead and put our inside sentiment in, I wanted to talk about what I'm going to do for the inside sentiment. Now, I had a request from one of my subscribers, and her name is Valerie. Hi, Valerie. And her YouTube channel is Jeff and Val 1. I don't believe she has any videos out, but she sent me a private message asking if I could show how I color my cardstock with my Copic markers and my air compressor and the airbrush system. So I'm going to quickly really show how to do that. So what I originally had was this set, which is by Copic, and I picked this up at Michael's. I'm not sure how much it was. I think it's like what they call the starter kit. And it comes with a can of air and then the actual air adapter. And then it also comes with the cord that you attach to the air can, and also to your, using your Copic marker and the air adapter. Well, once I bought this and I decided I really liked using it, these cans of air do come separately, but they are very expensive. So I found on another YouTuber's channel, if I remember her channel, I'll put it up here in the description bar. I'm sorry, up here in the video somewhere, on purchasing an air compressor is what she did. And she actually said she purchased it at Harbor Freight, and I happen to have a Harbor Freight in my area. As a matter of fact, it's right by my house. I could walk to it if I wanted to. And I actually got it on sale at the time, and they do have coupons, but you can't use the coupon on the air compressor. it also, you can purchase it online, and I will put the link down in the description bar down here where you can purchase it online. I believe now it's $79.99, but at the time I purchased mine, it was only $59.99. So it actually looks like this. It's not that big, it's kind of small. And what you do is you attach the hose right here to your air can adapter, and that just screws in like that. And then what you do is you take your Copic marker, and you can use either tip. Now most people, I believe, are using the Copic markers, these are the original Copic markers, and the other ones, they are the sketch markers, which fit in here a lot better than the original ones. Now, I do use the original with this tip, but I do find that I have a hard time getting anything to come out using the fine bullet tip on these markers. On the sketch markers, you have your brush tip, and then you have the chisel tip, and so it works really well on both. So what I do is I just take my cap off, and you want to put with your pointed side up into the airbrush system, and then you just slide it in. And then I just go ahead and start airbrushing. So I'm going to get out my piece of cardstock that I want to use to airbrush with, and I'm going to move this to the side just a little bit. It is kind of noisy when you use it, so when I use this, what I'll do is I'll fast forward the video so that you don't have to hear the noise. So now what I've done is I've taken my Spellbinders die, and it is the Labels 2 die, and I've used the largest size and the next size down, and I put those two together. So I first printed out my sentiment on the computer, and then I ran it through with the two of these together like so, and cut that out with my Big Shot. And then I also did the embossing, and then what I came up with is I had this piece left, and this is the piece that I want to make a different color. So I'm going to move this out the way because this does spray pretty fast. I'm going to pull this down some. And then what you do is you turn on your compressor, and like I said, it does make a kind of a loud noise. And then I just start pushing in my little button here, this button here, and just keep doing that till I get the colors that I want. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll be back with my finished airbrushed piece. Okay, everybody, so I'm back with my colored or airbrushed piece. So it went from this color to this color. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and finish putting my inside sentiment and my top layer of my sentiment together. And then I'll be back with the finished card. So Valerie, I hope this helped you in using your airbrush system and showing you how I use mine. Now, a lot of people wonder, why do I bother using my good Copic markers to color in my cardstock? I use these because there's lots of times I don't have the color paper that I want, and rather than running out to go get that color, I just use my Copics. Maybe one day I will do some coloring and with my Copics images, or I might even start using the airbrushing to color in some images. But for right now, I'm comfortable with using them just to make the color cardstock I want, and also to color in flowers and other embellishments, and of course coloring in my bling. So let me put the inside together, and then I'll be back with the finished card. Okay, everybody, so I am back with my finished card. So what I've done for the outside of the card is I went back and I added these three little button brads on the side here. And note to self, if you are going to make this card and you do want to add brads, you might want to add your brads before you tape down the top layer. What I ended up doing was removing the backs off the brads and then just taking my hot glue gun and gluing them down. So that's just a note in case you decide to do it this way. The other thing that I've done with the tag is I went ahead and added a button right here, and I would suggest if you are going to cut this tag and you do want to thread through some type of ribbon or twine or whatever, which is what I've done, that you go ahead and remove the circle that it will cut, because when I went to pull the twine through, the tag tore at the top. So I had to improvise, and I just added a button there to cover up where it tore at, and I taped it back together. So that's what I've done for the tag. Now for my envelope, I just took a regular envelope that I have purchased, so I didn't make this envelope, and I added on top the happy birthday. And the happy birthday is from A Child's Year. It is on page 71, and it is key number 44. So on your Gypsy, you will hit the font key and key 44, and you get the happy birthday. And I cut that at 3 inches using some of the scrap cardstock that was left over from my card. Then I took my Martha Stewart cupcake punch and punched out some cupcakes, and I just reversed the bottom and top layers and popped it up on some foam tape. So that's it, everybody. This is my finished birthday card. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.